नमस्कार फैमिली। आज हम द डायरी ऑफ अ यंग गर्ल आगे से कंटिन्यू करेंगे। हमने कल जहाँ से पढ़ी थी तो मैं आज आपको आगे पढ़ के सुनाऊंगी। ठीक है। अब हम पढ़ेंगे संडे 21 जून 1942। डियर किटी, आवर होल क्लास बी इज ट्रेम्बलिंग। द रीज़न इज दैट द टीचर्स मीटिंग इज टू बी held soon. There is much speculation as to who will move up and who will stay put. Mike De Jong and I are highly amused at Wim and Jacques, the two boys behind us. They won't have a florin left for the holidays. It will be gone on betting you will move up. Shan't shell from morning till night. Even MIP pleads for silence, and my angry outbursts don't calm them. According to me, a quarter of the class should stay where they are. There are some absolute cuckoos, but teachers are the greatest freaks on earth, so perhaps they will freakish in the right way for once. I am not afraid but about my girlfriends and myself. We will squeeze through somehow, though I am not too certain about my math. Still, we can but wait patiently. Till then, we cheer each other along. I get along quite well with all my teachers, 9 in all, 7 misters and mistresses. Mr. Captor, the old math master, was very annoyed with me for a long time because I chattered so much. So I had to write a composition with a chatterbox as the subject. A chatterbox, whatever could one writer, however, deciding I would puzzle that out later. I wrote it in my notebook and tried to keep quiet. That evening, when I do finished my other homework, my eyes fell on the title in my notebook. I pondered while chewing the end of my fountain pen that anyone can scribble some nonsense in large letters with the whole words well spaced, but the difficulty was to prove beyond doubt the necessity of talking. I thought, and then suddenly having an idea filled my three allotted sides and felt completely satisfied. My arguments were that talking is a feminine characteristic and that I would do my best to keep it under control. But I should never be carried, for my mother talked as much as I, probably more, and what can one do about inherited qualities? Mr. Captor had to laugh at my arguments, but when I continued to hold forth in the next lesson, another composition followed. This time it was incurable chatterbox. I handed this in, and Captor made no complaints for 2 whole lessons. But in the third lesson, it was too much for him again. Annie, as punishment for talking, will do a composition entitled Quack Quack Quack, says Mrs. Netterbeek. Shouts of laughter from the class. I had to laugh too, although I felt that my inventiveness on this subject was exhausted. I had to think of something else, something entirely original. I was in luck, as my friend Sani writes good poetry and offered to help by doing the whole composition in verse. I jumped for joy. Captor wanted to make a fool of me with this absurd theme. I would get my own back and make him the laughing stock of the whole class. The poem was finished and was perfect. It was about a mother duck and a father swan who had 3 baby ducklings. The baby ducklings were beaten to death by father because they chattered too much. Luckily, Captor saw the joke. He read the poem loudly to the class with comments and also to various other classes. Since then, I am allowed to talk, never get extra work. In fact, Captor always jokes about it. Wednesday, 24 June 1942. Dear Kitty, it is boiling hot. We are all positively melting, and in this heat, I have to walk everywhere. Now I can fully appreciate how nice a tram is, but that is a forbidden luxury for Jews. Shanks Mayor is in the lunch hour yesterday. It is a long way from our school in the Stadtmeridian. I nearly fell asleep in school that afternoon. Luckily, the dentist assistant was very kind and gave me a drink. She is a good sort. We are allowed on the ferry, and that is about all. There is a little boat from the Joseph Israel Skate. The man there took us at once when we asked him. It is not the Dutch people's fault that we are having such a miserable time. I do wish I did not have to go to school, as my bicycle was stolen in the Easter holidays and Daddy has given mummies to a Christian family for safekeeping. But thank goodness the holidays are nearly here. One more week and the agony is over. Something amusing happened yesterday. I was passing the bicycle sheds when someone called out to me. I looked around and there was the nice looking boy I met on the previous evening at my girlfriend Eva's home. He came shyly towards me and introduced himself as Harry Goldberg. I was rather surprised and wondered what he wanted, but I did not have to wait long. He asked if I would allow him to accompany me to school. As you are going my way, in any case, I will, I replied, and so we went together. Harry is 16 and can tell all kinds of amusing stories. He was waiting for me again this morning, and I expect he will from now on. The Diary of a Young Girl. Tuesday, 30th June 1942. Dear Kitty, I have not had a moment to write to you until today. I was with friends all day on Thursday. On Friday, we had visitors, and so it went on until today. Harry and I have got to know each other well in a week, and he has told me a lot about his life. He came to Holland alone and is living with his grandparents. His parents are in Belgium. Harry had a girlfriend called Fanny. I know her too, a very soft, dull creature. Now that he has met me, he realizes that he was just daydreaming in Fanny's presence. I seem to act as a stimulant to keep him awake. You see, we all have our uses and quirks, once too at times. Joby slept here on Saturday night, but she went to Lies on Sunday, and I was bored stiff. Harry was to have come in the evening, but he rang up at 6 p.m. I went to the telephone. He said, Harry Goldberg here, please. May I speak to Annie? Yes, Harry. Annie speaking. Hello, Annie. How are you? Very well, thank you. I am terribly sorry I can't come this evening, but I would like to just speak to you. Is it all right if I come in 10 minutes? Yes, that's fine. Goodbye. Goodbye. I will be with you soon. Receiver down. I quickly changed into another frock and smartened up my hair a bit. Then I stood nervously at the window watching for him. At last I saw him coming. It was a wonder I did not dash down on once. Instead, I waited patiently until he rang. Then I went down and he positively burst in when I opened the door. Annie, my grandmother thinks you are too young to go out regularly with me and that I should go to the Learers. But perhaps you know that I am not going out with Fanny anymore. Now, why is that? Have you quarreled? No, not at all. I told Fanny that we did not get on well together, so it was better for us not to go out together anymore. But she was always welcome in our home, and I hope I should be in hers. You see, I thought Fanny had been going out with another boy and treated her accordingly, but that was quite untrue. And now my uncle says I should apologize to Fanny, but of course I did not want to do that, so I finished the whole affair. That was just one of the many reasons my grandmother would rather I went with Fanny than you, but I shan't. Old people have such terribly old-fashioned ideas at times, but I just can't fall into line. I need my grandparents, but in a sense, they need me too. From now on, I shall be free on Wednesday evenings. Officially, I go to wood carving lessons to please my grandparents. In actual fact, I go to meeting of the Zionist movement. I am not supposed to because my grandparents are very much against the Zionist, but I am by no means a fanatic, but I have a leaning that way and find it interesting. But lately it has become such a mess there that I am going to quit. So next Wednesday will be my last time. Then I shall be able to see you on Wednesday evening, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and perhaps more. But your grandparents are against it. You can't do it behind their backs. Love finds a way. Then we passed the bookshop on the corner, and there stood Peter Vessel with two other boys. He said hello. It's the first time he was spoken to me for ages. I was really pleased, Harry, and I walked on, and the end of it all was that I should meet him at 5 minutes to 7 in the front of his house next evening. इस बुक का मैंने आज 3 चैप्टर फिनिश किए हैं जो एनी फ्रैंक ने लिखे हैं, उसकी डायरी के 3 चैप्टर मैंने आज और पढ़े। अगर आपको और सुनना है तो कमेंट में मुझे बता देना, यस और नो। बाकी आज के लिए बस इतना ही। ओके, टाटा, बाय बाय।